So in this video, we're going to be substituting these negative values into these expressions. Now, when you're substituting negative numbers into expressions, you need to be very careful. And what I would recommend is that when you do this, you include a bracket. Now, you don't need to include a bracket all the time, but I'll show you what I mean, okay? So, first of all, we're going to substitute x equals minus 2 into x squared plus 1. So the x needs to be replaced with minus 2. You must include a bracket here. So we must include a bracket. And the reason why we must is because if we don't, this and this give different results. Okay? Now, why is that the case? Well, think about your BIDMaths here. With BIDMaths, so let's just focus on this bit first. Let's not worry about the plus 1. If you think about your BIDMaths, first of all, you do whatever's in the brackets first. Then you follow up with dealing with indices. Okay? Then you get on to division and multiplication. Okay? So, first of all, you deal with the bracket. Okay? So minus 2. Okay, nothing I can really do apart from just have it as minus 2. And then I'm going to square that. Now, minus 2 squared means minus 2 times minus 2. Now, that is 4. When you multiply minus 2 by minus 2, you get 4. Minus 2 squared, well, we deal with the index first before we deal with the multiplying minus 1 that you've got here. Because remember, this is minus 1 times 2 squared. That's what the minus sign out the front's doing. So I do the index first, which is 2 squared, which is 4, and then I have minus 1 times 4. So here I got 4, here I got minus 4. So this is a problem, right? We need to understand that, let's put it here, minus 2 squared is not the same as minus 2 squared. It's difficult because obviously when I'm reading them out, the words I'm using are the same in both cases. But what you need to realise is that when you are substituting, it is the former, it is this. The minus 2 is replacing the x, and the minus 2 is being all squared, not just the 2. So we have this. So minus 2 all squared is 4, plus the 1 is 5. So our answer to number 1 is 5. Number 2, given x is equal to minus 5, determine the value of x cubed, take away x. So x cubed, we need to make sure that we put the minus 5 in a bracket. And then we're taking away minus 5, and I'm making sure that I'm putting the minus 5 in a bracket. Okay? So, minus 5 times minus 5 times minus 5 is minus 125. So it's one of your cubic numbers that you should try and remember. So 5 cubed is 125, minus 5 cubed is minus 125. And then we have take away minus 5. And so because you've got the two minus signs there, we add 5. So minus 125 plus 5 is minus 120. Now, you could, in this instance, have gotten away with this because minus 5 cubed is actually the same as, so minus 5 all cubed is actually the same as minus 5 cubed. Now, that is a consequence of you cubing rather than squaring. So when you're cubing, you've got minus times a minus times a minus, which is a minus. And so that is fine. But once you get to a power of 4, then they don't equal one another anymore. Okay? So even powers you've got to be wary of. Odd powers you don't. So you could have gotten away with this. But I do think there's a fundamental misunderstanding if you do write that down without putting at least that bracket in. Okay? So I would definitely use brackets for this. Number 3, given x is equal to minus 10, determine the value of x times x plus 5. Now, yes, you could put brackets in here. Like so. But to me, that's probably bracket overload. You don't actually need those extra brackets that we've written in. You can't really misunderstand this. Okay? So in some cases, you know, when you're squaring, cubing, it really is necessary. But in this situation, not so much. So what do we have here? Well, we'll deal with what's in the bracket first. Minus 10 plus 5 is minus 5. So we have minus 10, and then, of course, we are timesing by the answer that we just got, which is minus 5. So minus 10 times minus 5 is 50. Okay, so be careful when substituting negative values into expressions and formulae.